This is a 60-minute Vinyasa flow, and it ends with about 20 to 30 minutes of a low back and hamstring stretch. Come into a comfortable seated position. Roll your shoulders back, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale fully through your mouth, and just take a second to connect with your breath. And as you breathe in and out through your nose, see if you can let go of any thoughts that are going through your mind right now. See if you can let your mind be totally blank as you come into the present moment. Notice that as you inhale, your spine starts to feel taller. And as you exhale, your shoulders relax away from your ears. Make a commitment to yourself to honor how you're feeling today. So if you need to push yourself to get a little bit more out of it, then push yourself. But if you need a break, feel free to come into child's pose or shavasana at any time during the practice. On your next inhale, come into child's pose. So you want to reach your arms out in front and let your head come down onto the mat. Let your eyes close. And keep your arms active here as you intend to get longer in the arms. And then when you can't go any further, see if you can apply a little pressure into the hands until you feel a stretch in the armpit and upper back. As you inhale, come onto your fingertips, look ahead. As you exhale, bring the palms back down to the mat. Let your head come all the way down. Press into the palms until you feel a stretch in the tricep and upper arm area. Inhale, come onto the fingertips, look ahead. Exhale, melt forward. And then on your next inhale, come over onto all fours. You want the wrists, elbows, and shoulders in one long line. Spread your fingers as much as you can. Knees underneath the hips, knees are hip distance, and the ankles are directly behind the knees. Come into a flat back here, and then activate your core. Look out in front of you on the ground about 3 feet out in front. And when you're ready, lift your right leg back behind you. Go for length, not height. Spread your right toes. And then on your next inhale, reach your left arm out in front. If this is too much for you, you can just take the left hand down and just keep the leg lifted. Get as long as you can from your fingers to your toes. Keep the core activated. On your next inhale, we'll touch the elbow to the knee. Get long. Touch. Get long. Touch. Get long. The knee and the hand come down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale fully. Inhale, lift the head, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round the back. Let your head hang heavy. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. And then on your next inhale, come to center, activate the core. Find your sense of balance and press out of the bottom of the left foot to extend the left leg. Left toes are spread. Beginner, stay here, or if you need a little bit more, extend your right arm. Get as long as you can from your fingers to your toes and breathe. And then we'll touch elbow to knee. Get long. Elbow to knee. Get long. Elbow to knee. Get long. Come down. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. On your next inhale, lift your head, lift your tailbone, look up. Exhale, press the mat away, round your upper back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. On your next inhale, curl your toes and lift your knees just a little so they hover over your mat. Hold here. On your next inhale, open up the knees so they're mat distance. Bring your feet together and reach out in front with your arms, coming into wide leg child's pose. Reach your hips back towards your heels. Don't worry if they don't get there. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. And as you inhale, round forward onto all fours. Bring the knees back underneath the hips. Curl the toes and lift up for your first downward dog of the practice. So shake your head out. Press the mat away so you have long armpits. And then bend one knee and then the other, just to open up the backs of the legs. When you're ready, reach your heels down towards the ground. Doesn't matter if they don't get there. If you're a beginner, come onto your toes, bend your knees, and then lift your hips as high as you can and push the mat away. And stay there. Or if you're super tight in the hamstrings, this is going to be your position. Otherwise, reach your heels down towards the ground. Picture the body as an upside down letter V. Let your head hang heavy, shake your head out, no tension in your neck. Continue to press the mat away and then plug in with your fingertips. So imagine that if I were to come around and lift your fingers, they wouldn't lift up. On your next inhale, walk your hands to your feet. Bend your knees and roll up. When you get to the top, roll down. Walk out to plank. Then the elbows back behind you for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, walk your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees, let your head hang, round up. We're going a little bit faster here because it's a Vinyasa class, which means movement. Exhale, roll down, walk out to plank pose. Elbows back behind you, halfway for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. On your next inhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees, round all the way up. Exhale, round all the way down. Walk your hands out to plank. Lower down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm going to stay here this time for 5 deep breaths. On your next inhale, lift your right leg as high as you can. Spread the right toes. Step your right foot to the front of the mat and bring your left knee down onto the ground. Lift your arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers. Bring the hands behind your head. Press your hips forward. Lift your heart. Look up. Try to get as long as you can in your spine. Try not to collapse in the low back. Lift your heart. Breathe into the left hip flexor. On your next inhale, lift your arms. Press forward a little bit more into the hips. And then bring the fingertips down and lift the back knee. As you inhale, rise up. As you exhale, bring the hands down. Step back for 3-legged plank pose. Lower down halfway. Beginners will do regular plank pose. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift your left leg high, spread your left toes. Step your left foot to the front of the mat. Right knee comes down. Lift the arms, interlace the fingers the other way. Bring the hands behind the head, press the hips forward, lift your heart, look up. Try not to sink into the hips, or rather into the low back. Instead, find length through the right hip flexor, up through the front body, and through the spine. As you inhale, lift your arms, press forward a little bit more. Bring the fingers down. Lift the back knee. When you're ready, rise up for high lunge. Bring the hands down, three-legged plank, or beginners will take regular plank. Lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, rise onto the toes, bend the knees. Beginners will walk forward, otherwise hop forward as quietly as you can. As you inhale, halfway lift, feet are together. Exhale, forward fold. Picture your hips over your knees. As you inhale, rise all the way up with a flat back. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms, look up. Exhale, sink low for chair pose. Tuck the tailbone, you don't want to arch the back here. Squeeze the legs together, sit a little lower. Squeeze the legs together, sit a little lower, and then tip forward, forward fold. As you inhale, halfway lift, look ahead. As you exhale, plant the hands into the mat, step or jump back into plank pose. Hold here, and come down onto your forearms with the elbows underneath the shoulders. As you inhale, come into regular plank. As you exhale, come into chaturanga. Up dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, step your right foot to the front of the mat. Come onto your fingertips. Find length in the spine, right knee directly over right ankle or slightly behind. Rise up. From here, we're going to find warrior two. So you want to turn so the outer edge of your left foot is parallel with the short edge of your mat. Feel that your hips are even. You might need to take a wider stance and then open up the arms. Look out over your right middle finger. And as you inhale, lift your right arm, look up. As you exhale, bring the right fingers down to the ground. Bring your left arm by your left ear. Look up at the left thumb, palm is facing down. As you inhale, rise back up for warrior two. As you exhale, windmill the arms down and step back for plank pose. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg high, spread the left toes. Step the left foot to the front of the mat. Come up onto your fingers, find length in the spine. Left knee above left ankle or slightly behind and rise up. Find warrior two. Look at the right foot. Make sure your outer edge of your right foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. Bring the hands to the hips so that your hips are even. Look out over your left middle finger. Arms are so strong that if somebody tried to push them, they wouldn't go anywhere. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift your left arm, look up. Come forward, left fingers to the ground. Right arm by your right ear, look at the thumb. Inhale, rise. Exhale, windmill the arms. Go through your vinyasa, we'll meet in downward dog. As you inhale, rise onto your toes, bend your knees. Look ahead, quietly hop, step, or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, hips over the knees. Bend your knees if you have to. As you inhale, sit low, squeeze the legs together, rise up for chair pose. Tuck the tailbone, you don't want to arch the back. Squeeze the legs together, sit lower. Squeeze the legs a little more, sit lower. And rise up to stand, hands to the heart. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. Now on your next inhale, we're going to open up the feet so they are a little wider than hip distance. Bend the knees deeply. Bring your hands back behind you, interlace the fingers, and come forward. When you can't come forward anymore, let your head hang. Then lift your arms. Press your palms together, breathe into the fronts of the shoulders. As you inhale, bring the hands back to your low back. Bend the knees, round and roll all the way up. Lift the arms up overhead, bring your hands to your heart. We're gonna come into Malasana pose, so it's like a deep squat. Come onto your toes if you are unable to bring the feet down flat. So you're either here or you're here, but wherever you are, you're pressing into the legs with your elbows to open up the legs even more. Hold here. Try to keep the heart open, try to keep the shoulder blades joined toward one another. And you have the option to stay here, or if you're feeling a little bit more open, bring the right fingers down, left arm lifts, look up. Keep the legs open, breathe into the inner thighs. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left fingers come down, right arm looks up. Inhale, come to center. From here, we're going to come into crow pose. So take the hands shoulder distance. You want to dig into the mat. So what I mean by that is make your hands dig in as if you're a rock climber. So the fingertips are really glued into the mat. The bases of the fingers are really glued into the mat. And as you inhale, lift your hips. You want to look ahead, not down in front of you between your thumbs. That's how you'll fall over. Then bring your knees as high up the arms as you can. Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. But then imagine that you have this round in your upper back and you're lifting up, and maybe one foot lifts and maybe the other foot lifts as well. Breathe. Come back into Malasana pose. When you're ready, come sit down. Remove the flesh from underneath the sitting bones and then sit tall. Bring your knees in as much as you can. Bring your arms out in front, your hands are flat. Lift one foot and then lift the other. Round your back and pull your knees in as much as you can. Spread the toes. This is essentially crow pose, but on your butt. So just if you're having trouble with crow pose, you can practice this. When you're ready, bring your hands out in front of you flat. Plug the arms into the body, so lift your chest up. Then make your legs so that your shins are parallel with the ground. Spread the toes. And on your next inhale, press out of the bottoms of the feet. Squeeze the legs together. Lift your heart. If this is too much for you, you can bend the knees, or you can even have the toes just lightly on the mat. Gently come down, release. Bring the feet together at the top of the mat. Hands to the top of the shins. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, round your back, lower your chin to your chest. As you inhale, pull yourself forward, open up the knees, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, press the knees together, arms are long, chin to the chest. Inhale, pull forward, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, press the knees together, long arms. Last time. Inhale, pull forward, lift, look up. Exhale, press the knees together, long arms, chin to chest. As you inhale, sit tall. Remove the flesh underneath the sits bones. We're coming back into Navasana pose. So plug the arms into the body, lift the heart. Activate your core, lean back just a little. Come onto the toes, beginners stay here. Or if you need a little bit more, bring your shins so they're parallel with the floor. Spread the toes, hang out here. Or press out of the bottoms of the feet, press the legs together and lift. Lift everything, lift your legs, lift your heart. Make your arms so strong. Your arms are parallel with the ground. Continue to spread the toes. Breathe fully. Breathe deeply. Keep your mind calm. When thoughts come to you, just let them go. And when you're ready, gently release. Feet come to the front of the mat. As you exhale, long arms, chin to chest. Round your back. Inhale. Pull yourself forward. Lift your heart. Look up. Exhale. Press the knees together. Long arms, chin to chest. Inhale, lift, pull forward, look up. Exhale, press. Inhale, pull forward, look up. Exhale, press. Long arms. Inhale, pull forward, come to sit tall. And from here, come onto your toes. Remove the flesh underneath if you need to. Arms out in front, plug the arms in, lift the heart. When you're ready, lean back, lift your legs. We're gonna bring the hands together here. So your legs are either bent or the toes are hovering, or you're pressing out of the bottoms of the feet. Hands are together, and then next inhale, twist to the left. Then twist to center and to the right. Back through center to the left. You wanna try to get your right shoulder so it's in line with the center where your knees are meeting. In, back to center. Left shoulder is in line with the knees. Back to center. One more time each side. Go through the center and come back. Feet come down. Hands to the tops of the shins. Long arms, chin to chest. Inhale, pull through, lift, look up. Exhale, press. Long arms, chin to chest. Inhale, pull through, look up. Exhale, press. Inhale, pull through, look up. Exhale, press. Inhale, pull forward, look up. Exhale, press. Lower the chin to the chest. As you inhale, come back to center. From here, extend your legs and come to sit so you're at the very left side of your yoga mat. So your left leg is like almost off the yoga mat. Bend your left leg. Cross your left leg over your right foot, over your right leg. Then take your right hand to your right hip. You want your fingers pointed out to your right. Then take your right hand out in front of you. So your middle finger is like on the edge of your yoga mat. Then take your hand to the right, so it's just wider than where your shoulder is. Bring the left arm out in front, so it's in front of your left shin, and it grabs hold of either the right shin or the right foot, depending on your flexibility. In order to do this, we're coming into baby grasshopper here. In order to do this, your left foot needs to be totally on the mat. So make sure that your left foot isn't lifting up and it's not pointed in a weird direction. It's like 45 degrees, pointing to the right corner of your mat. Grab hold wherever you can. And on your next inhale, rock and roll. So you're gonna rock forward and get up. Press into your left foot and into your right hand. Once you're up, bend at the elbow and lower down. Lift your hips, use your core strength and upper body strength to keep yourself lifted. Breathe. And gently release. And we'll take it to the other side. So both legs are extended. You're gonna cross the right leg over the left. Right foot points 45 degrees. Left hand comes to the left hip, then comes out in front, so the middle finger is touching the edge of the mat, and then to the left. Right arm comes in front of your shin and grabs hold of the left shin or the left foot. Take a deep breath in, and you're gonna rock and roll, so rock back and forth, side to side, and when you're ready, press into your right foot and get up. Bend the left elbow and look down towards your left foot. Use your core strength to keep your hips lifted. Press into your left hand and use your upper body strength to keep that elbow bent and in towards the body. Breathe. And gently release. Extend both legs. And from here, remove the flesh underneath. Bring the hands down to the shins or grab hold of the first big toes. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, forward fold. Let go of what you were or were not able to do for baby grasshopper. We all have to start somewhere, so don't worry if you weren't able to get up. If you need more instruction on it, there's a good blog post on yogabycandice.com. You can just search yogabycandice.com baby grasshopper pose and it will come up. In the meantime, just keep practicing. That pose requires a lot of hip flexibility and upper body strength and core strength. So if you work on those areas and maintain a consistent yoga practice, it will definitely come. For here in forward fold, you want to think about having your stomach against your thighs. Try to avoid rounding your back so that you look like this. You really want to have the stomach against the thighs and think about keeping the heart open, the chest open as you look forward. On your next inhale, rise up halfway. Bring the hands behind you about 8 inches and bend your knees so your feet are coming back halfway. Feet are hip distance, toes pointed out in front of you, fingers pointed out in front of you, fingers are spread. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press into your feet, press into your hands to lift up. Let your head go back if that's okay for your neck. Lift your hips as high as you can. Breathe into the shoulders. And then gently release and come down. Extend your legs. Make your feet so they're flat. And then roll your shoulders back. Press your hands into the mat if they reach. Coming into staff pose here. This doesn't look like much, but it is kind of challenging to keep yourself totally straight here. You want to think about tilting the pelvis slightly forward so you have a really long spine and you're not kind of slouching over like this. So lift up, be tall, and use your breath. On your next inhale, bring your hands halfway back. Press into the heels. Your heels are hip distance, toes pointed out in front of you. We're going to do just what we did before, but we're going to press into the heels so much that maybe the bottoms of the feet come down to touch. Lift your hips, let your head go if that's okay for your neck, and breathe into the front body. Reach your feet down to the ground. And when you're ready, come down. Sit tall. And then bring the bottoms of the feet to touch for cobbler's pose. For cobbler's pose, you want to bring the feet as close to your pelvis as you can. And then open up the knees as much as you can. And bring the thumbs into the arches of the feet. You're going to open up the feet like a book if you can. I am recently getting over a sprained ankle, so I'm not going to do that. But you want to think about opening up the feet like a book as much as you can. And one day the tops of the feet will touch the mat. If your knees are up like this and you're feeling really frustrated, that just means you have tight hips. So you're going to use your elbows to press into your legs to open them up. As you inhale, get really long in your spine. And as you exhale, send your upper body forward. Reach through the knees. Imagine that your knees are growing like little fingers and you're reaching out through them to open up the legs even more. And with each exhale, you're going to find a little bit of space and a little bit of movement. Continue to breathe fully. Continue to come down closer to the mat with each exhale. Reach through your knees to find more space in the inner thighs. And then when you're ready, rise up. Bring the hands underneath the knees and press the knees together. Walk your feet back to your pelvis as close as you can, then wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your head come in between the knees and hang heavy here. See if you can relax your shoulders away from your ears. Let your eyes close, go inward for a moment, and then intend to find that connection to your breath once again. Even though you're making your body so small, see if you can use your lungs to their fullest capacity. So as you inhale, fill up the lungs with as much air as you possibly can. And when you think you can't take any more air in, take one more sip of air. And then as you exhale, slowly exhale fully, so much so that there's nothing left in the lungs and the belly button draws back towards the spine. One more breath just like that. On your next inhale, rise up. Extend the left leg and bring the bottom of the right foot to the inner left thigh. Square your upper body over the left leg. Take a deep breath in. Make your left foot flat, and then when you're ready, spider your fingers forward as far as you can. Try to keep your shoulders even. Think about the stomach and the thigh touching, and with each exhale, come down a little bit more, a little bit more. Maybe you can grab hold of the bottom of the foot, maybe not. Wherever you are, let that be okay, and just use your breath to comb through the body, to find any areas of tension, and use the breath to find length. This is a really good stretch for the hamstring. Tight hamstrings can contribute to low back pain, so if you have low back pain, this is a really good pose for you. As you inhale, rise up. As you exhale, extend the right leg, and then bring the bottom of the left foot into the inner right thigh. Square the upper body over the left leg, spread the toes, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, come forward. Try to keep the shoulders even. Notice how one side might feel different than the other. That often has to do with whether you're always crossing one leg over the other and not the other way around, or sometimes how you sit as you drive, if you're always sitting on one side of the body, or how you sit at your desk. So just be mindful of those things when you're off the yoga mat, because they all contribute to how you're feeling. As you inhale, rise up. Extend. And then we're going to bend the right leg and cross the right foot over the left thigh. Hug the knee in, sit as tall as you can. Hug it in so much until you feel a stretch across the back of the right hip. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, extend the right leg. Cross the left foot over the right thigh, sit really tall. Spread the right toes. And pull the knee in so much that you feel a good stretch across the back of the left hip. On your next inhale, gently release. Extend the left leg. Bring the arms out in front, and slowly we're going to make our way down. From here, bend your knees. Cross the right leg over the left thigh. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift so your left shin is parallel with the ground. And then interlace your fingers behind the left thigh. Both legs, both feet are flexed. And when you're ready, pull in. Gently release, and we'll cross on the other side. So left foot crosses over right thigh, right shin is parallel with the ground, and then interlace the fingers the way that feels weird behind your right thigh. Both feet are spreading their toes, and when you're ready, pull the leg in and then relax your shoulders away from your ears. Tuck your chin a little bit so you have a long neck. Maintain your connection to your breath. So breathe fully and deeply, even though you're not doing so much, you're not like moving so much, you're not out of breath. Continue to try to maintain the deep, full yogic breath. When you're ready, gently release. You're going to lift both legs up so the shins are parallel. Flex the feet and bring the hands to the tops of the shins. As you inhale, open up the legs. Let your legs be really heavy. See if you can keep your ankles in line with your knees. Use the strength of your arms and use gravity to let your legs open up even more. Check in with your neck, making sure that your chin is slightly tucked so the back of the neck is really long. Check in with your low back so your low back is glued to the mat. With each exhale, see if you can open up a little bit more. And if you need to open up a little bit more but you just feel like you're kind of stuck, you can use the strength of your arms to draw little tiny circles. So with the right hand, I'm drawing a little tiny circle with my right knee and then over to the other side. So it's kind of like a figure 8 that you're making as you draw these little circles. And you might notice that you feel a little bit more open in your hips as you do this. Or if it's too much for you, if it's too intense, you can just stay in stillness. Whatever works for you, do that. From here, we're going to come into happy baby pose. So use your hands to press your knees together. Pull your knees in slightly, and then lift the feet so you're imagining that you're able to walk on the ceiling. From here, grab hold of the ankles or the outside edges of the feet, and then open up the knees so that they're coming into the armpits and pull your legs in. Flex your feet, and then press through the bottom of your spine. Maybe your tailbone can come down to the ground. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale fully through your mouth. One more time just like that, but as you exhale, notice that maybe you can use your exhale to reach your tailbone down to the ground. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale and follow the exhale all the way down the spine, seeing if maybe you can reach the tailbone down to the ground as well. Your choice to stay in stillness or rock side to side. Whatever feels good for you, do that. And then when you're ready, come to stillness, release, and bring the feet down to the ground, arms up overhead. Heel toe your feet out so that they are a little bit wider than mat distance, and then let your knees droop in toward one another. Press into your feet so your low back is glued to the mat. Close your eyes and just take a second here. On your next inhale, open up the knees, but keep your feet exactly where they are. Keeping your feet exactly where they are in the same place, bring your knees over to the right. As you do this, your feet may lift up a little bit. That's okay. You just want to try to keep relatively the same placement. Let your legs hang here and breathe into the front of the left leg. scan through your body from your fingers to your toes, finding now where you're holding on to tension. And then use your breath to let go of that tension. As you inhale, slowly make your way back to center. You want to double check the placement of the feet so they're slightly wider than hip distance. And if that's good for you, go over to the left with the knees. The feet might lift up, that's okay. You just want to keep them in relatively the same spot. And then on this side, you're going to focus now on feeling the stretch in the front of the right leg. So with each exhale, feel the pull of gravity and feel how that affects the front of the leg. Breathe full, deep breaths. Maintain that connection to your breath, even though you're not really moving here. Let your eyes close and see if you can relax the space between your eyebrows. And then scan just your face and see where you're holding onto tension. Sometimes people hold tension in their jaw, in between the eyebrows, the corners of the mouth, the corners of the eyes. Just scan through your face and see where you can let go. As you inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, heel toe your feet so they are hip distance. Invite the knees into the chest, and then use your core strength to lift up and grab opposite elbows. Rest the head on the ground. Breathe. From here, bring the hands to the tops of the shins and make the arms really long. The hands are now on the tops of the knees. We're going to draw a circle with the knees, about the size of a dinner plate. So pull the knees out to the right and in towards your chest, out to the left, long arms. Out to the right, into the chest, out to the left, long arms. One more time. To the right, into the chest, out to the left, long arms. From here, switch directions. Go to the left, into the chest, out to the right, long arms. Out to the left, into the chest, out to the right, long arms. Last time here. And as you inhale, pull your knees in one last time. And we'll step the feet down. Feet are as close to the pelvis as you can. And then bring the bottoms of the feet to touch as you open up the knees. Bring both hands to your stomach. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. This is Supta Baddha Konasana. It's really good for releasing tension in the inner thighs. It's excellent for hip opening, flexibility, for poses like grasshopper pose and baby grasshopper pose and crow pose as well. Take a deep breath in. And exhale fully through your mouth. Another deep breath in. And exhale fully through your mouth. On your next inhale, bring your hands down to your knees and press your knees together. From here, we're going to go into eagle pose on your back. So you're going to cross the right leg over the left. Cross the left arm over the right, and then squeeze everything together. Squeeze the arms, squeeze the legs, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And gently release. Take it to the other side. Squeeze the arms, squeeze the legs. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And release. From here, extend your left leg, pull your right knee into your chest. Extend out of the bottom of the right foot to lengthen the right leg. Spread the toes, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, pull the leg back towards your face. Doesn't matter how close it gets. Just find space and length in the back of the leg. Use your breath to comb through any tension. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bend the right knee. Take the left hand to the right knee, right hand down to the ground, and pull the knee up and over the body to the left. If you need more of a stretch, you can cactus the right arm and look out over your right shoulder. And with each exhale, see if you can focus on getting the shoulder and the knee down towards the ground. Let your eyes close and let your body melt into the pose, feeling pulled by gravity. Initiate the twist at the navel. And so visualize the air entering the body, not through the nose, but through the belly button. And then follow it through your body, seeing where you can let go a little bit more, a little bit more. As you inhale, come back to center. And then extend through the right leg. Invite the left knee into the chest. And on your next inhale, lengthen. Spread the left toes. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, pull the leg towards your face. Keep pressing also out of the bottom of the right foot here. You want that right leg activated. It's kind of like you're doing a split, but you're on your back. And on your next inhale, bend the knee. Bring the right hand to the top of the left shin. And pull the knee up and over the body to the right. If you need a deeper stretch, cactus your left arm. Look out over your left shoulder. And then begin to bring your focus to your exhales. Noticing where you're feeling the exhale. Seeing if you can find more openness in the torso or in the chest or in the hip. Maintain your connection to your breath. On your next inhale, come back to center. Extend out of the left leg and take the legs mat distance. Your hands can be off the mat, palms facing up. Tuck your chin slightly for a long neck. Close your eyes, and we're going to come here now into Shavasana pose. So Shavasana is like one of the most important parts of yoga. It's a really good time to let your body absorb all the good things it just did. Not practicing Shavasana is like doing a really good workout and then not stretching afterwards. So see if you can keep yourself here for at least 5 minutes. Try to let your mind be really clear and calm. And when thoughts come to you, just watch them go away as if you're watching a cloud in the sky, without giving them any attention. We'll be here for about 5 minutes, and I'll let you know when Shavasana is complete. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And then roll over onto your right side. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment to acknowledge your practice. And when you're ready, seal it in. Namaste. Thanks so much for practicing with me. Feel free to check out yogabycandice.com for more.